Hi there, it's Jo here, back with a how to use the Sacred Power reading cards by Anna Stark, a Rockpool deck. So get yourself a cup of tea, sit back and relax, and let's jump straight into it. So this deck by Anna Stark is one of my favorites. I've had it for a really long time, and I've just finished doing the Sacred Spirit reading cards how to. And after I'd done that, I thought to myself, I really want to make both of these videos together so that I can, you can reference both to see why they're different from each other, because they are really quite different. These ones are about spiritual guidance for your life's journey. This one is transformative guidance for your life journey. So this is kind of like stepping your toe in the water, and these ones are like jumping your whole body deep into that dark pool. And watch this video if you're interested in looking at them and seeing the big difference. But today's video is about the Sacred Power reading cards. So we're going to start talking about that. So this is a Rockpool publication. I will read the back to you because it's a really good summary of what's going on with these cards. Sacred Power reading cards by Anna Stark. Sacred Power reading cards are a 36 card deck which provides self-empowerment and healing by delving deep into the sacred symbols, totem animals, and spiritual realms. This deck will awaken your spirit's path and open your heart towards new possibilities and guidance. The cards also serve as a supportive tool for healing practitioners in Reiki and other healing modalities, along with the accompanying guidebook, which includes affirmations, meditations, and simple techniques to enhance your self-healing abilities. The Sacred Power reading cards deck is sure to awaken your magnificent creative force. And at the bottom we have a little bit about Anna. Anna is a spiritual practitioner and teacher who guides her students to understanding ancient systems of psychic healing and wisdom through elemental, angelic, and galactic realms. And I feel that really sums this up. I'll show you the inside of the box. We've got the beautiful flower of life inside, and it has this magnetic strip on it. We have the wonderful guidebooks by Rockpool, which have a beautiful color image. We have 9 compassion, which is really funny because in the last video I also did the 9, which is a completion. So, and this talks about compassion, but I almost saw the word completion. So it talks the number, a key word, and then a statement, then gives you some information about, in this case, Kuan Yin, and then a prayer. Well, I will read through that in a minute, but I will show you some cards and talk about how I use this deck first. So let's jump into that. So I'm going to sort of flip through them while I'm talking about how I use this deck. Now, I really love this deck because of the bright colours, and if you do watch the other video, I talk in that video about how I was thinking that when I got that deck, it was going to be a bit more similar to this because I was used to this deck, loved this deck, and I thought that it would be along similar lines, particularly because it has that beautiful stag on the front. So I thought there'd be more animal spirit information in there too. However, that deck is quite different. But like I said, this one's like putting your toe in the water. The other one's jumping, head first or diving right into the water. So I love these cards. There's lots of colour, there's lots of movement, lots of light. They are great to pull as a single card for, a week, a day. You can use this deck to do a complete reading because I feel like it covers so many concepts and principles, and it evokes lots of different things within us. It talks about lots of spiritual travel and change and transformation, but it also talks about a lot of 3D sort of things too. Now I'm going to set some cards up and we'll talk a little bit more. So as you can see, there's lots of different colours in this card. There are lots of blues, which is quite similar to the other. It's quite similar to the Sacred Spirit reading cards, lots of deep blues. However, there are lots more lighter colours in this deck. There are very much sort of more 3D kind of concepts in here too, purification, retreat, protection, communication, abundance, manifestation. So it's kind of like these are really easy cards to connect with. They're really easy to see yourself or see your life reflected in these cards. So they're great to pull for one day. They're great to pull 3 cards for your week. They're great to use for a whole reading. They cover lots of different concepts and principles, and I'm going to pick one and then read, what the guidebook says, and then talk a bit more about how I use these cards. So they're great. Also, the really great thing about these cards is that they're not one-dimensional. So I said before that they talk about 3D issues like rest, but they also have that higher vibration in them, the dolphins and the water and the sky and the colors. So like the other ones, they have symbols and signs in them that allow you to go deeper, that allow you to work with them on a different level. I'm going to pull the compassion card out and I'm going to use that, but I'm going to flick through them again. So we have boundaries, we have intimacy. I love the transformation card. I love the change card. It's amazing. There we have the picture from the front. We have soul journey, we have energy balance, we have source, and we have truth. So there's all these concepts that can mean so many different things. They are multi-layered, multi-dimensional. They are both, this realm, other realms. These cards do everything. I'm going to just read through one of the cards and talk about how Anna talks about it in the guidebook. So like I said, there's a number. So it's a number 9, which can be about completion. Compassion, enlightenment, divine understanding creates new life. So when you complete something, you often then start something new. The beautiful, fertile Kuan Yin holds the white lotus in her left hand and the pearl of enlightenment in the other. She arrives today to bless you with compassion, unconditional love, and acceptance. Residing in the realm of the Ascended Masters, she has heard your prayers and asking you to be open to miracles. Sitting on a pink lotus is a symbol of peace and harmony. The mother of all humanities hears the cries and prayers of the people. She stretches her love to those who need it, giving support in times of grief and trauma. Her beauty, grace, and eloquence are captured in the aspects of the divine feminine: love, nurturing, forgiveness, and compassionate understanding. Now, it goes on, but I'm not going to read it all. And then there's a prayer at the end too. Now, how you might also use these cards. You might use them in a reading for yourself or for other people, and you might use them at the end of a healing if you're a healer. Like Anna said, these are great tools to use for healing practitioners, and I think that's probably why I was really open to these cards in the first place, because they do relate, as I'm a healer and I do healing work, and I feel that these cards are really good for that. I feel these cards are really great for a personal reading, for a reading for you when you're working on some issues that are showing up in the 3D world, but you also want some other information. You want some more guidance, because you know that this 3D thing, whatever it is, like it could be self-love, that it has this bigger picture soul transformation kind of energy going with it too. These cards are great to incorporate in a pick a card reading, which is what I use them for. You'll see them in my pick a card readings. I will also use these for private readings. I find them to be really great. I find that the imagery allows me to go deeper. It allows me to jump in without knowing, everything that's written on that card. I know what this card is symbolizing. And then when I'm reading for somebody, whether it's a pick a card reading or whether it's a private reading, I'll be guided to aspects of this card that are important for that person or that I've never seen before, and I'm drawn to it, which helps me make sense of why this card is coming up for somebody. So there's lots of intuitive, like the Sacred Spirit reading cards, there is a lot of room for your intuition, for your third eye to open with these cards, and to allow that expression to come out, to allow, mind and sight and thought and all that sort of spiritual information to get downloaded. I find that these are very helpful for that. That your mind is busy looking at the picture, and then your spiritual guides, your higher self, whomever your divine team, whoever you call them, are able to download some information to give you those intuitive hits so that you can bypass your knowing mind and access other information. So I find these cards are really great for that. I find they're also really great to incorporate with tarot decks, because they give you that different information. Because the tarot, if you're using a traditional Rider-Waite, you're working with old symbology that still is relevant today and still has meaning that you can translate. However, these cards are, the century that we're living in, and they're able to sort of, capture your own mind and your eyes into things that you can relate to, that you can see, that you can, there's a lot of emotive color use. There is also symbolic, you might not be able to see that, but there's a lot of symbolic information in some of the cards too, where, there's symbols all around the horse. There's the yin and yang symbol. There's also symbols on the animal itself. So they're multidimensional, they're multifaceted. And like a tarot card, they're filled with symbols for you to read and to either latch onto, or to use as a stepping stone further into your reading or further into the card. Now, with the other cards, I talked about how you could use a single card, to go somewhere with, and I feel that you can also do that with these cards. I love this card, the personal power card. I feel that the power, the strength, the cards are very emotive, and you can sit with one single card and delve into it if you choose. You're limited only by your imagination and, ways that you already know how to use these cards, or perhaps watching a video like today that it might open that up for you. But like I said, there's a great for personal use, great for use in a reading. This is a deck that you will use and use and use, and it's not one that you'll get and only use sometimes. So for me, this is a standout deck. It's one that it's great to use. I felt like I could jump into it, identify with it straight away, that I could, the themes are really many and varied. I feel like it has a theme for most things that come up in our lives. So for me, this is an awesome deck that I feel like if you don't have this deck, it's one that you will probably love. If you're a healer, you will definitely relate to this symbology and to these concepts. And if you're someone who loves working with cards, I'm fairly sure that you'll enjoy this too. If you have this deck and you love working with it, please comment below and let me know. If I haven't, if there's some way that I haven't talked about using this deck, because I'm sure I haven't thought of all the ways to use it. But there's also a lot of, there's other things like crystals. There's so much to see in these cards. Anna Stark has done a beautiful job with this deck, and I feel like it's it's one that you'll just keep coming back to and back to. So thank you for watching this video today. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this for Pick a Card readings. Thanks for staying all the way to the end, and please subscribe to. Bye for now. See you in the future.